Hello, welcome back. Khadiyah Lewis, known to the world as KD, was living her life out loud, bold as ever. Then suddenly, news of her death spread across social media like wildfire. But it wasn't for something controversial or for a new show. It wasn't gossip or fame this time. It was final. At just 44 years old, KD was gone. No forewarning, no explanation, just an abrupt, deafening silence. Her fans were stunned. Her friends were in disbelief. Even the media hesitated, unsure how to react. It was like the world collectively held its breath, trying to make sense of how someone so vibrant could vanish like that. KD, whose voice always filled a room, left without a word, and that silence hurt in a way no noise ever could. Her absence created a void that felt surreal. And what made it worse was how little information came after. No official report, no cause of death announced, no real answers from her family. Everything was unusually quiet. For someone who had lived such a public, expressive life, her departure felt shrouded in mystery. That's when people began asking the questions that wouldn't go away. What really happened to KD? Why was the aftermath so hushed when her life had been anything but? The funeral came, and with it came a wave of emotion. But it was Yung Joc's presence that shifted the energy in the room. His grief wasn't performative. It was raw and heartbreaking. He couldn't hold back his tears, and the vulnerability in his voice broke down every barrier in the room. It was as though everyone there finally allowed themselves to feel the weight of KD's loss. People remembered her not just as a TV personality, but as a fighter, a truth-teller, someone who never diluted herself to fit expectations. She was the KD who brought fire to Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, who never stayed silent when she had something to say, who lived out loud even if it made others uncomfortable. As the shock of her death settled in, the lack of information only made things worse. There were no medical records made public. No statements offering clarity. Just an overwhelming quiet that allowed speculation to grow. Rumors and theories filled the vacuum. Friends began sharing details hesitantly, cautiously. One admitted that KD had a breakdown shortly before her death. Not dramatic, but deeply unsettling. She stopped responding to texts, ignored events she used to love, and her phone went silent. For someone like KD, that silence was screaming. Then the spotlight turned toward the industry itself. Insiders suggested that love and hip-hop may have played a role in KD's downfall. Reality TV, they said, is often more concerned with ratings than people. Producers wanted conflict, encouraged emotional eruptions, and often neglected the toll it took on the cast. One former cast member revealed that when people broke down on camera, it wasn't a cue to help. It was an opportunity to capture more drama. If things got too dark, it was simply edited out. At her funeral, Yung Joc didn't hold back. He didn't try to be strong for the cameras. He cried because he knew he hadn't done enough. He spoke about how real KD was, how complex, how human. And he cried for the chances he missed to ask the deeper questions. For the moments he saw, her slipping but said nothing, because now there was nothing he could do. KD wasn't just another TV personality. She was larger than the show she starred in. She was passionate, fearless, a force. But not even her strength could save her from the quiet battle inside. Her fans grieved deeply, some silently, others furiously. They started resharing her videos, alongside her final posts. Quotes like, "Some pain doesn't show on the outside," hit like gut punches. Before, those posts were ignored. Now they felt like unspoken goodbyes. This wasn't just about one woman anymore. KD's story was a spotlight on the entire system, a system that pushes stars to extremes for entertainment, but doesn't care for them once the cameras stop rolling. Her story wasn't just a tragedy, it became a movement. People were demanding better protections for reality stars. Mental health support, accountability, changes to how these shows are run. Protect reality stars and justice for KD started trending. It wasn't just grief, it was outrage. One former castmate said, "We all broke in different ways. KD just didn't come back from it." That line stayed with people because it captured the core truth. KD gave everything to the show, but when she needed something in return, support, care, understanding, she got nothing. The network's response felt hollow, a standard press release offering thoughts and prayers. But fans wanted more. They wanted to know what would be done to prevent this from happening again. Because if nothing changes, someone else will suffer the same fate. KD's family didn't say much publicly. Her sister posted a single photo of KD smiling, no caption. Somehow that quiet tribute said more than words ever could. Underneath, the headlines, "This was still a woman loved by many, a mother, a daughter, a friend, gone too soon." Now her story is more than a tragedy. It's a wake-up call, a turning point. The industry is being forced to face itself. Mental health experts are joining the conversation. And maybe, just maybe, KD's loss will create the change she never got to see. In the end, KD wasn't silenced by scandal or failure. She was silenced by pain that no one saw in time. And now, her story stands as a warning, a reminder to listen, not just to the loud ones, but to the ones who go quiet. Because sometimes the silence means more than the noise ever did.